Hello, my name is Terry. This video will cover our investigation at Mineral Springs in Alton, Illinois. Mineral Springs currently offers ghost tours. I don't know if it will continue in the future, but at present you can arrange for tours of the site. At the end of this video you'll find resource links, one of which covers the individual ghosts that are reported to haunt this location provided by the people running the ghost tours. It's pretty informative, and if you look carefully, some of the activity mimics what we documented in our video. One item I'd like to cover is something that occurred that didn't get documented by the cameras. In an area between Williams' garage and the men's pool area, there's a hallway separating the two. We had our equipment running, and we heard something growling at us. When we reviewed the video, something had stopped the camera from running moments before the growl would have been recorded. I checked the camera. There was no loss of power and no issues like tape running out or anything like that. So for some reason the camera had shut down on its own moments before we would have documented this. This has happened before on a few occasions where something shuts the cameras down. Could be coincidence, but it's hard to know whether or not the equipment was being manipulated or not. The following clip was captured in the ballroom. If you listen very carefully, immediately after I say, "Oh yes it does," another voice pipes up immediately and it says, "Get out." This isn't a traditional EVP because Mike, also heard in the video later, comments that he heard this voice with his ears. I wonder if the grid generator works. Oh yes it does.
What the grid does?
Yes.
Did you guys just hear another voice?
I wonder if the grid generator works. Oh yes it does.
What the grid does?
Yes.
Did you guys just hear another voice?
All of the following footage was captured in the hallway between the men's pool area and Williams' garage. We found this area to be the most active during our investigation, in addition to some areas upstairs. In this clip, immediately after a knocking sound is heard, you'll hear a voice say, "Yes." This is none of the group members saying this. This is also interesting in that we were hearing knocking sounds repeatedly coming from down in this area. Sometimes you could hear them and sometimes you couldn't from just one room away. It's very interesting that it would be so isolated, but they were quite loud, and I was actually able to capture some of the knocking sounds on the camera. From the same area back behind the pool area in the hallway, we also captured another EVP voice, this one saying, "Get out." But this one is a traditional EVP in that it was only revealed on the playback of the recording. None of us actually heard this voice at the time it was recorded. In the next clip, after I say, "We hear your footsteps," a voice can be heard. We can't quite make out what it's saying, but it's clearly a human voice, but none of our group members is speaking.
We can hear your footsteps.
The next clip captured in this hallway is truly bizarre. It's a collection of odd sounds. from creaking floorboards to a squawking voice to walking, all sorts of odd things like exhaling, various weird sounds, all are pooled together in this one clip. We can't account for this particular sound.
It's not waiting to visit them on Bell's name. It's not waiting to visit them on Bell's name. It's not waiting to visit them on Bell's name.
While one of our group members was standing in William's garage, he asked it to produce a knocking sound, which it obliged, but it didn't turn up on the camera. I asked if he could repeat it, which he did, and when he asked it to produce a knocking sound a second time, it did produce a sound loud enough for the camera to actually capture. This is interesting because it's producing a sound on command.
Can you knock on something else to confirm that you're still here? Oh, I heard something.
That's funny, I didn't hear it. There, did you hear it again?
Yes.
The following scene was recorded upstairs in one of the bedrooms. The camera is physically located in the hallway. If you listen carefully, a PSB-7 ghost box session is taking place. One of the investigators asks how many spirits are up here, and it answers 11. It's interesting that a random voice shouldn't be answering a question from these PSB-7 boxes. It has to be a reply because it's actually giving a numerical answer which is required to answer the question. A random word blurted out would be typical if it was just receiving a radio frequency. This is interesting in that it actually is answering the question put to it, and it is saying the number 11. There's no way of verifying whether this number is accurate or not, but it's significant in that it is answering the question.
Let me ask you something. How many spirits are on this floor right now? Wow. Let me ask you something. How many spirits are on this floor right now? Wow.
Continuing the EVP session on the second floor, one of the investigators asked who the president was, but he asked it in a very vague way, and he asked it in a very long, drawn-out way, clarifying what he wanted. Later he added that he wanted the president's last name, and he also wanted the current president. Well, when the question was first answered, the voice immediately piped up Obama. But then another voice pipes up and says Franklin, which could be a reference to Franklin Roosevelt, a president possibly in their time. And then at the very end it answers Obama a second time, which is the correct name for the current sitting president. It's as if it was listening to these questions being asked, and it was piping up immediately trying to answer them, and it didn't wait until the very end of the question to be asked to complete the answer. Could also be that these are different entities because the voices sound different from each other. So each one may be piping up with their answer, and it may be relevant to what they were thinking or at their period of time. It's difficult to know, but the fact that the ghost box session produces 3 replies, and all of them technically you could argue are correct.
Who is the president right now? What is his last name? Did they just say Obama? Who is the president right now? What is his last name?
Obama.
While continuing the session upstairs, the voice of a female in distress can be heard. There were 3 men present in the room asking questions in the EVP session. There were no women on this floor. We can't account for a female voice upstairs. If you look carefully in the next scene, we have visual evidence of activity. If you look at the doorway straight ahead in the video, look at the left side, you'll see some sort of light activity, movement on the left side of the door. I also have a zoom version of this video. There's no one in the hallway with any flashlights present, and there's no open windows where stray light could be coming in from an adjacent room. The hallway is completely dark, and there's no accounting for this unusual, anomalous light activity. The following clip was recorded at almost 4 o'clock in the morning. No one was on this floor when it was captured. If you listen carefully, you'll hear the sound of something being dragged across the floor. Remember, there's no one on this floor when this is happening. Everyone is downstairs or outside. This is another sound yet that we can't account for.